Hi guys, welcome to Chris Ryan Golf. You've joined me once again at the Belfry, and today we're out on the Brabazon course talking about a way that you can improve your practice and a game that you can play in practice which is going to help you with a better feel for your golf, so going to help you to create some different ball flights when you're in your practice sessions and ultimately we're out on the golf course. This is best done with something like a mid-iron. You can move into your longer clubs, maybe your hybrids in your woods, but generally we want to stay away from the shorter iron. So I would say this is going to be sort of 7-iron upwards, so 7, 6, 5s, and then through into the longer clubs. I've got a 5-iron here. And what we need to do in your practice facility, so whether it's a range or a practice area, is just pick a target out in the distance, okay? So something that you're going to hit towards, and that's going to be the same target for all of the shots we're going to hit. So in this case, I'm just going to pick the middle of the fairway, and that's where I want this ball to go. So I've got a 5-iron here. This is not the club I'd hit off this tee, but we just, as I say, going through a little practice routine that you can do. So once you've got the golf club, so I've got a 5-iron here, you've got a target. I just want you to visualise a pretty straight ball flight to that target with not a lot of curve, okay? So just a pretty straight ball flight with a mid-flight. What I want you to try and do then is in that sky, I want you to picture a box at the apex point, so the highest point of that ball flight. So visualise that ball going through the air. At the top of its flight, it goes through that box and it lands on target. So you can see that box out there and you can see the ball flight that I'm trying to achieve. So that would be my standard ball flight. Now, around that box, I want you to visualise another 8 boxes. So in total, we've got 9 boxes. The middle of those boxes is your standard ball flight, okay? And you can start to see possibly what's going to happen now. So in practice, what I want you to try and do is try and hit 9 shots to the same target. But each shot has got, at its apex point, so at its highest ball flight, has got to go through each of those 9 boxes. So the standard shot you can see is in the middle. So the one directly above that would be a straight shot with a little bit more height. The box below that, below the middle one, would be a straight shot, but with a lower flight. We've then got a draw, we've got a fade, we've got a high fade, we've got a high draw, a low fade, and a low draw. So there's 9 different ball flights that we want to try and hit. It is difficult. We would not expect you to hit 9 balls and just nail every single one first time, okay? This is very difficult. This also might be for a little bit more of an accomplished golfer, okay? If you're struggling with maybe a slice or a hook and you struggle to hit the ball straight, this might not be for you. But if you feel fairly comfortable with your golf swing, you feel that you can actually move the ball different ways, this is a really, really good practice drill for you to do. So let's just go ahead and see how we get on. So the first thing I'm going to do is going to try and hit that middle box. So that's the middle of the 9, which is just my standard shot with my 5-iron, pretty neutral flight, and not really worrying too much about changing the trajectory, okay? So let's go ahead. Okay, and I'm pretty happy with that. It's finished on my target. I reckon that would have gone pretty much through that middle box. So I'm not going to hit all 9 shots in this video, but I'm just going to go through an idea of what we do. So now I'm going to pick a different box. It's entirely up to you which order you do them in. So you might want to go around maybe clockwise or anti-clockwise, or you might want to vary it, but pick a different box now. So I'm going to try and hit now a high left to right ball flight. So that is sort of boxed top left. So I'm going to try and get my ball to have a higher flight and have a little bit more left to right curve on it, okay? Still finishing on that target that we picked right at the start. So now I've got to think about what am I going to do to change those 2 things. There's 2 things I need to change. I need to change the trajectory and I need to change the curve on the golf ball, but obviously I can't change the golf club. So I'm not going to go through too much detail on how I'm going to do this, but I'm going to set myself up. I'm going to try and hit that left to right higher shot. Okay, and again, I'm pretty happy with that. Certainly had a higher ball flight, finished on target, started left, curved back, pretty good. What we can start doing in practice is start to record how you're getting on. So maybe even draw a diagram of this sort of grid out there and just start to maybe put little ticks, little crosses every time you're successful, every time you don't make a successful shot. If we can do this during a few practice sessions, what it's going to do is going to do a couple of things. It's going to start to get you really good at working the ball. It's going to start to get you to understand your golf swing a little bit better, start to maybe play some more field shots, start to work the ball a little bit more, change trajectory. But it's also going to be really useful for on the course. So once I've done this maybe 4 or 5 times, if I have recorded my result, I can start to see which ball flights I'm better at creating. So for example, that one I just hit there, that high left to right shot, if I am successful at every single time, maybe the high draw maybe I'm fine, I'm only 50% successful with that. So the high left to right, I'm more successful than the high right to left. That kind of information I can then use when I get on the golf course. If I'm on the golf course and I see a flag which is maybe on the right-hand side of the green, tucked behind a bunker, and I think to myself, the best way for me to get to that flag is a high left-right ball flight, based on the practice sessions, I can say to myself, do you know what, I can hit that shot. I'm pretty comfortable hitting that shot. I know that the majority of the time I can produce that shot. If on the next hole, the flag's maybe back left, and I need that ball to be right to left ball flight, and it's a bit windy, and I need to stop it again over a bunker, and I think to myself, right, I could do with a high right to left ball flight. The information that I've gathered in my practice might lead me down a route of, maybe I'm not going to hit that shot today. Maybe it's not something I want to go after. Maybe I'm going to go middle of the green, give myself 25 feet and move on, because I know that from my practice, I'm not as comfortable hitting that shot. I don't produce that right ball flight as often. So it's really, really good for a couple of reasons. It's going to help you 100% when you get on the course. You're going to start to understand which ball flights you're better at creating. And if we can do that, we can start to maybe look at areas that we need to work on. So why can't we create certain ball flights? Maybe that's when you go to your local professional and sort of say, look, I can do this, but I can't do this. I need some help. That golf professional will explain what's happening in your swing, why you maybe can't produce those ball flights, and we can start to work on those different areas. It's going to help in your practice. It's going to help with your course time, and it's hopefully going to help you make your practice a bit more fun. Okay, you're not going to do this for an hour, but if you're doing some practice, you might want to finish with this, 10 or 15 shots doing this, starting to work those ball flights, visualize that grid in the sky, and it's going to help you, say, create some better ball flights and maybe work towards some better shots on the golf course. Okay, hopefully that made sense. Click the like button if you liked it. Post any comments down below. I'll do my best to respond to as many as I can. And if you haven't done already, then please also click the subscribe button sort of down below somewhere. The videos are free. Subscription is absolutely free as well, so it's 100% well worth doing. You'll get first access to these videos, and hopefully you'll play some better golf next time you get on the golf course. So as I say, thanks again for watching, and we will see you again next time.